here in the Rich Eisen studios that has all this memorabilia, all these photographs and sports tchotchkes. There is a Pitch Perfect 2 poster hanging up in the corner. And it's because you got the Green Bay Packers to perform a cappella, and that's because you're a diehard Bears fan. Am I right?
That's right.
Trolling the Packers in your own movie. That tells you everything we need to know about your fandom. What was that like to direct those guys and to write a scene for those guys in Pitch Perfect 2?
Well, to write, they're such fans. They knew all the choreography to the finale of Pitch Perfect, and I guess they would do the choreography like on the road and stuff like that, like together, and they would watch the movie on the road. But I loved they were open to doing anything. So writing for them was really fun. And then also I would stop myself and be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm writing for them. Like that they were open to doing whatever and all the different jokes that I did them. And then I saw them, the first time I met them was at the premiere actually. And when we were like, before going in, and I ran up to them and I thanked them for doing the movie. And then I was like, I'm a Bears fan. And they were like, get out of here, lady.
How deep does that Bears love go? I know Chicago sports are a thing. We've talked about it a lot over the years, but what are some of your memories over the years connected to the Bears, and how deep does that fandom go?
Well, I have to admit, like recently I've relaxed a little bit just because well,
so have the Bears, so you're in good company.
But for me, like the 85-86 championship team is like, I think I was like 10 years old, and I'm one of 7 kids, and with my mom and dad and everything, we would, that like sitting around and watching on a Sunday, watching the Bears play, and that team in particular, it was just magic, And so I my dad passed away 8 years ago, and I have his Bears jacket that in my closet, and it still smells like him, and it's just that whole, like, I remember like buying a T-shirt of the 85-86 Bears like on the I'm from a small town, and they were selling T-shirts like on the corner of like Main Street, which is like one of 2 streets in the small town I grew up in, and so it just like, and the fact that they did the Super Bowl shuffle, like it was just like a really magical time. And when I got married, my vows were all about like Walter Payton and Refrigerator Perry being a magical couple. And like, I think I would said something like, when I can't see across the finish line, I'll become Refrigerator Perry and I'll throw you across, like when Refrigerator Perry threw Walter Payton across the finish line against the Dolphins.
That's what every groom wants to hear from his bride, that they're going to turn into Refrigerator Perry. That's sounds very romantic, Kay. Kay can enjoy.
I can't see, when I can't find my way, she'll become my Refrigerator Perry. Like, it was a whole thing.
Kay Cannon joins the show right now. Cinderella coming soon on Amazon Prime. What I love about Pitch Perfect and hearing you talk about it, you wrote that film as a sports movie. What does a sports movie mean to you, and how does Pitch Perfect fit into that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a competition, so it was like in an all-female group. So growing up an athlete on a lot of like basketball teams and volleyball teams, and I ran track and played softball, like I just knew that dynamic. So to me, it was just like I felt it was the ultimate underdog sports movie, because women, an all-female team, had never won the ICAs, which are the international championships of acapella. And so that, and then they had the rival, and they had who they had to beat. In this case, it was like the all-male team. And my favorite movies of all time are like Rocky is like my favorite movie of all time, and Hoosiers. You guys mentioned Field of Dreams. There's just I just really connect to those movies, and so that's just how I approached it.
I would imagine you're also connecting to these Olympics. Knowing you, something tells me you're a big Olympic person. What events have you enjoyed, and what stories have inspired you?
Yeah, I really, it's interesting because I'm of the time zones and the changes and everything like that. Like, I find myself just like up all night Watching Simone Biles, obviously, I really was interested in watching her win the bronze. But when it comes to like track and field, like the that 400-meter hurdler, I'm forgetting his name now. I believe he was from Denmark, yeah, or he's from Norway.
You're up at 3 a.m. watching hurdles. It all kind of blends together after a while.
I mean, also the beach volleyball. That was pretty fun to watch. Watch the women win the gold. That was super fun. But it also, like, I was a sprinter in college, and just watching the sprinters, and of course, like at the Olympic level, like an 800-meter run is a sprint. So I'm just like so in awe of their abilities.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.